Alright guys, let's do week 5, lesson 3. Huh? Lesson 2. These videos are confusing me. Okay, I just posted lesson 1. This is lesson 2. Yeah, lesson 2, lesson 2. Okay.
Now that we've got our HTML in place, we're going to start with the real fun, coding the JavaScript for our calculator app. Okay, to begin with, we're going to need to create an event handler. Now the event handlers will determine what happens when any of the buttons are pressed. Now if you look at our calculator, there are actually 4 different types of buttons here. The one type is our digits, the normal numbers that we're going to be typing in. The second type are the operators. The third is the AC button. I think that stands for all cancel. And the fourth is the equals to. Now each one of these is handled in a different way, each one of these groups. We're going to start off with the digits. When a user clicks on a digit button or touches on a digit button, what exactly is going to happen? So let's start by making an event handler for that. The event handler for this one we'll call digit button pressed. And this one will receive a parameter, and that parameter will be whatever button was pressed, or the value of the button.
Okay. Function digital button pressed. Give me 1 second. And then put a curly bracket.
That was pressed. Okay, now notice the naming convention again. I'm using camel case, digit, button, press. The B is uppercase and the P is uppercase. When you're naming a function, you never start the function name with an uppercase letter. You always start the function and variable name with a lowercase letter. Okay, so we've got digit, button, press. Now what will this event handler do? Obviously, when a user clicks on a button on the calculator, on a digit, that digit appears on the screen. So let's make this appear on the screen. Now remember, our screen is this input box of type text with ID of input box. So that's where we're going to display the button that was pressed. So we'll use our good old friend document.getElementById, and we'll call this guy's ID input box dot value. We set his value to whatever is the value of button. Good. So we've got the event handler.
Be careful guys when you are typing your value inside the brackets. Don't forget the quotation marks.
Let's create the event, the on-click event, starting with the guy on the top left, which is 7.
Don't forget the semicolon as well.
On click.
Okay. Go to line number 13. On click
is equal to digit button pressed, and we pass this one a 7. So let's see what's happening here. A user clicks on 7 it fires off this event, on-click event, which calls the event handler function, digit button pressed, and passes it a 7. The event handler function receives that 7 and displays it into the input box. Let's try this out. Let's refresh. When I click on this,
and then we save it, and then we refresh, and then let's, okay, whoa,
7, it should display in the display window. There we go.
Yeah, it did.
Now,
it
in a
did.
typical calculator,
it did.
As you click on the digits, they appear on the screen. So the more 7s you click, they should appear on the screen. But as I'm clicking the 7, nothing seems to be happening. We'll figure out why later. Let's put in another event handler. Okay, let's fire off again the on-click. We'll just copy this guy and paste him in there.
Yeah, we're just gonna copy this guy, Control C, and then we just gonna say give it a little bit of space, and then we're gonna paste it in there. Don't forget to edit and put 8 and Control S.
Alright, on click is equal to digit button pressed, and here, no surprises, we put in an 8. While we are it, let's do the same for the 9. Don't forget to change the parameter to 9, to whatever corresponds to the output. Okay, let's save this, refresh our browser. Okay, it seems to be working. Something is going right, but something is wrong. Now, what's going wrong is that every time I type in a digit, it's replacing whatever is on screen at the moment. So when I type a 7 and then I type an 8, the 8 is actually replacing the 7. But in a normal calculator, what will happen? The 7 will remain, and then the 8 will come in after the 7, and then the 9 will come in after that if I had to click it. So every subsequent digit that you click is supposed to follow the first digit. So that's what's going wrong with our app. Now, how do we fix this? Very simple. We fix this by remembering what's currently on screen and then adding the new button or concatenating. Remember, we used string concatenations before. Concatenating the new button to what's already there. Going back to our code, we start by creating a new variable. We're going to call this.
Okay, let's do this. Create a new variable. It's online. Okay. Let's put our cursor here, enter. var current.
Whatever is currently displayed in the input box. So we're gonna get the value that's stored inside input box. And store it inside current value. Okay, and then when we are outputting, instead of outputting just what the user has pressed, we're going to output the value that's stored in current value first, and then what the user has pressed. So for example, if the user has already pressed for the first time the digit 7, then when the user clicks on the next digit, let's say the user clicks on 9, then what's going to be output is 7, 9. So right there, we put in current value and the concatenation operator and then button.
Okay, its value equals to, okay, current value shift plus the button.
Okay, let's see what's going to happen now. Save this and head to the browser. Back in the browser, let's try it out. 7. Okay, there's a 0 that remained there. We'll fix that later. 8, 9. 7, 8, 9. Now as we continue to press these digits, they will continue to appear on the screen. But the problem, one little problem, is that the 0 needs to disappear. So when we start again and refresh our browser, you'll remember that we are displaying the 0 there to begin with. In the very first instance, when the calculator appears, the 0 needs to be there, but the 0 needs to disappear the moment we click on the first digit.
Okay, that's it for lesson 2. I'll see you on lesson 3, guys.